Hey, good morning, everybody. It is not Thursday. What the heck happened? Where did it go? It is Friday, August 7, 2026. I wonder if it didn't save. Did it save up here? Yeah, it saved up there. Okay. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It is Friday, August 7th, 2026. I, of course, am Hammer, founder of Hammer Solutions, home of great products such as Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. Thank you for joining me. Remember, you can join me live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Facebook and YouTube. If you're here this morning, say good morning. Welcome to all the live folks. Mike Thibault, Tim Kleila, Mallory Fotiadis, Michael Garcia. Confused by the Thursday. Check your calendar. Oh, yeah, exactly. Sorry about that, man. Bobby J. Jones, Sean Segaloff. Yeah. Refi boom, not for 30 basis points, but Amy Blauser, good morning, all. So glad to have you here. Yasmin Martin, D Mart Home Lending, huh? Don't know who that is. Rob Stewart, good morning. Kathy Jensen, happy Friday. TGIF, people. We had some great data this morning. So we'll give everybody a minute to hop in and then we'll talk all about that. So if you're here this morning, say good morning. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget to give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. And quick lock advice at a glance. We are floating them all this morning. Float them all. Decide if locking any near term, anything closing in the next couple of weeks as we float into next week's inflation data. So there was a lot of concern over this morning's jobs data. Came in much weaker than expected. Actually, job losses, not job creations. It's a big deal. So we'll go into that detail in a minute. But the bigger thing is that next week we've got inflation data, and that could help ease the pressure on the idea that we'll see a Fed rate hike in September even more, which is helping bonds rally and helping rate sheets rally. Now, we couldn't comfortably float into this morning's data because we couldn't count on seeing not only a weak number, but a negative number. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you here. And let's go ahead and jump in. Oh, wait, here's Siegel. Siegel says today is National Raspberries and Cream Day. It's also National Water Balloon Day. So there you go. I'll go with National Raspberries and Cream. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but that's the one I would go with. All right. So let me go ahead, share the screen. Let's talk about what we got going on this morning. So, oh, you know what? Hold on. I gotta go to this. There we go. And now I can share the screen. Sorry, I forgot to change the scene. All right. So taking a look this morning on where things are at. If you take a look over here in the bottom corner of the screen, let's take a look and see. Yesterday, after pricing came out right around here, right around 10 a.m., right? Almost immediately after that, you could see that bonds lost ground, and it was kind of ugly. And then they settled in on the rest of the day, but it was still too late. We saw a lot of reprices worse yesterday, as that happened. I'm going to blame that on the falling down of the smoke and mirrors of a deal between Iran and Oman. Like I said, I had read headlines that made it sound like Iran was willing to do a deal to open up the Strait of Hormuz. Hold on, I got to fix this. So there you go. Really? You're wigging out over that? Hold on, let me fix this. Come on, dummy camera. There we go. Okay. So I would say that yesterday's weakness was due to the change in headlines over the deal between Iran and Oman. Basically, there were a few different things that I read, but the bottom line is that nothing that was being agreed on was something that the U.S. was going to agree to. And it looked like Iran was purposely thumbing their nose at the U.S. over this whole thing anyway. So was an ugly day. We did send out an alert to lock. Again, if you don't get our text alerts, sign up for those. www.raytextalerts.com. They're $7. Yesterday we sent out a text alert. I know that we saved a lot of people some headaches and some heartache by getting out there before most of the reprices. UWM likes to reprice so damn fast. It's very difficult to walk the line between getting out before UWM, but also making sure that bonds are actually in a position that most lenders are going to reprice. So if you get a reprice from UWM, don't get mad at me. That's just the way it is and why. Come on. You love to come over when I'm in my live. Come on, you troublemaker. So anyway, that's what we got going on there. Let me go ahead and pop this back off. So what about this morning? This morning, we are in a whole different realm. So rate sheets today should be better. I'm curious to see if lenders hold back any of the gains. We're up about 30 basis points this morning. I think you'll see most of that make it to the rate sheet. Rate sheets are going to be set in about 20 minutes. Right here, we peaked higher. So we came to a 99.73. I mean, you're talking almost 20 basis points more as a high point, and it kind of settled in. I think lenders will be pretty comfortable that bonds have settled in at this pricing right here. You're definitely going to see better rate sheets this morning. However, how much better will depend on how much your lender passes along those gains and what that looks like. Ron Siegel, UWM is perfect. Watch them and then lock with Rocket. Yeah, there you go. That's a good trick. So we are still up about 30 basis points. Let's see if we've got something that kind of sums that up really well. This does. So shock drop in U.S. payrolls eases pressure on the Fed rate hike. So one of the things that you'll notice in today's jump. So obviously we were at 8:30 before the jobs data came out. Let me bring this up on the screen a little bit so you guys can get it. Okay. 8:30 this morning before the jobs data came out. Right after the jobs data, big rally. Why do we see a big rally? First reason was that we actually saw a loss. Again, this is not 23,000 jobs created, a loss of 23,000 jobs. How many jobs were expected? Well, this is what the article before, and I didn't refresh this. Non-farm payrolls are expected to post a gain of just 83,000 with unemployment rate unchanged at 5.2%. Okay. So they're of just 83,000. Well, it wasn't just 83,000. It was actually a loss of 23,000. On top of that, June and May numbers were revised downward. So less jobs for June and May. Unemployment rate declined to 4.1% from 4.2%. This is normally something that would hurt bonds. We want to see unemployment. We don't want to see it, but unemployment going up helps mortgage rates and pricing. The reason that this doesn't matter is because of the next line. The labor force participation rate is now the lowest level since February of 2021. So think of it like this. What happens to come up with the unemployment rate? What you do is you get the household survey. So the number of jobs created is from a business survey where the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, reaches out and gets a survey from businesses. The unemployment rate is from housing. So they call you and they say, "Hi, do you have a job?" "No, I don't have a job." "Okay, but that doesn't mean you're unemployed." "Are you looking for a job?" "No, I'm not looking for a job." "Well, then you're not unemployed." Because there are people that are stay-at-home parents or stay-at-home people. There's people that are retired. There's people that are lazy, that live off the tit. There's all kinds of people. So if you're not looking for a job, you're not actually considered unemployed for the household survey. So unemployment rate going down, it sounds like a very strong labor market thing when that happens, because more unemployed people is a weak labor market. However, when less people say they are looking for a job, that's why traders really don't care about this, and it's not there. Tim Klaus says somebody in the Trump administration is losing their job, so 23,001. Yeah. Mike Tebow pointed out downward for the last 2 months of minus 113,000. and the BLS definition of a job: 1 hour of work for pay for the month. Is it really? Is that correct, Ron? That's what's considered a job: 1 hour of work for pay for the month. Wow, that's nuts. So, all right. Well, anyway, so we've got the jobs data this morning. That's what gave us help. Next week, we're rolling into the unemployment. I'm sorry, we're rolling into the inflation data, CPI inflation data. That's the big thing for next week and where things go from there. So, as far as today goes, we this is a strong relief rally. You're seeing a rally on the fact that we did not get unemployment data. And look what this did to the Fed futures. Let me refresh this. Wow, it's gone down even more. So this was at about 40% earlier. And if we compare this to the last couple of days, look at it like this. So a week ago, the expectation that we would see a Fed rate hike in September was at 67%. Yesterday, it dropped to 55%. This morning, down to 44%. Markets now have an expectation that it's more unlikely to see a rate hike and more likely to see rates remain the same. As we look through the end of the year, you're seeing that same thing happen. Markets are starting to price in a 25% chance that we may not see a rate hike at all this year. So you've got Neel Kashkari out there, some of the other Fed presidents and governors. You've got them out there talking about that we need to hike rates and inflation, but this is what is there. And we talked yesterday about the means inflation and how, the Dallas Fed, they look at it and it's not inflation. It's not nearly as big of a deal if you take out the outliers, if you look at the core, that kind of a thing. So keep all of that in mind, all of that in your head on where we're at on this stuff. So Ron said, I know I have been a job hawk, but look deeper in the report. Government jobs minus 53,000, leisure and hospitality minus 40,000. The gains are in the higher paying jobs. So that's actually a good thing to point out when you go deeper into the actual report. So that is good. But all right, my friends. Well, I've got news for you. All right, is everybody paying attention? After many, many, many years and a few threats, I have decided to take a hiatus from my lives. I will go live next week rather than just end this thing on you in one day. We'll celebrate. We'll do the farewell tour. I do think that this will be a permanent move, but I'm going to call it a temporary hiatus. I have a lot of travel coming up at the end of August and into September, and it's hard to do the lives when I'm traveling. I'm going to be going to the Jeep Invasion in Pigeon Forge on Friday, the 21st. And I'd much rather, spend time at breakfast than necessarily, having to worry about lives. Then I'm going to be in Austin for our Founders Board Mastermind. Then I'm going to Aruba with the family. Then I'm going on a boys' trip to North Dakota. Then I'm going away with my wife for the 17th and 18th. So I have a lot of travel. I'm actually, and it's just, I've decided this is a good time. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. I'm not going to leave you high and dry though. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start recording a quick video. So it's going to be super short. You'll be able to watch it whenever you want. I'll be able to post it whenever I want. So it doesn't have to be at 9:30. I don't have to stop what I'm doing and make sure I plan my day around 9:30. And guys, I've done this for 12 years. 12 years. But I'm tired of the commitment. And it's funny because running Hammer Solutions, I don't have a lot of commitments. And the one commitment I have is the Lock Advice email and the Lock Advice. Also, this does not get a lot of replay. There's about 30, 35 of you that show up every day. And I love y'all. I do. I love spending the time with you. I love your comments. But when I look at this from a business point of view, it's not making us any money. The same 30 folks, me doing this, with you and for you, unless we were to get, I've talked a few times about trying to grow it, and I've done some things and it doesn't hold, it doesn't hold. I think just a short video, 2-3 minutes, posted on all of our socials, I think that's going to have a lot more of an impact for the business in a business sense. So that's the other thing. And that's on me. I haven't really done the most to maximize this. I don't push the products. I talk about them, and half the time I don't even talk about originator success or grab and go social. I just, talk about the text alerts and that's it. So, Ron said most people don't realize the amount of time. Yeah, the lock advice email is still going to come out early. I'm not going to stop that. In fact, I'm messing around with Whisperflow. I did this morning's with Whisperflow. I may mess around with Whisperflow, doing a full thing, putting it into AI to kind of break it up in the format that I like, and then speeding that up as well. And Ron has it totally dialed in. Most people don't realize the time it takes to prepare. You budget 3 hours of prep for 1 hour of airtime. And Ron does a radio show. So for those of you that don't know, so Ron, you get it. And it's also it's the amount of time. It's just like I said, it's the commitment. If I'm shooting a video, I could do it. I could have done it immediately after the information came out for the whatchamacallit. I'm sorry to say. Oh, the jobs data. I'm reading your comments, y'all. You guys, I'll tell you what, man. Do you guys want me to do one more week? Let me know in the comments, or should I do one more week? Should we make it a farewell tour next week? Otherwise, I'll wrap it up. Do what's best for me. Thank y'all. Dan Martinez, everyday content is very hard, but thank you for what I do. Thanks, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you, Sean Segaloff. Appreciate you, man. I'll miss the outtakes of when the cats interrupt my live streams. They may still interrupt my videos, so don't worry about that. So thank you. Yeah, I mean, I travel all the time anyway, Mallory, but like I said, I think that I could serve y'all better if I just shoot a quick video every morning. I'm still going to do that. I think it's important. And I just probably am not going to show the screens. I'm just going to do a live me video and just be like, hey, this is what's going on, blah, 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 blah. I want to keep it to 1 to 2 minutes so you can see it quick. I can incorporate it more into socials. I can put it on YouTube Shorts. I got to tell you too, you know what's really changed as well? There was a time when you did lives on like Facebook and YouTube. Guys, pay attention to this for the marketing point of view as user originators. The channels would promote you, but now they promote reels. They don't promote lives. In fact, they kind of sync lives. Facebook doesn't seem to want lives anymore. YouTube doesn't really do much with lives. They get no traction. But if I were to do shorts or reels, they're going to get a lot more play from a business point of view. So, just rip the Band-Aid. No need to drag on. All right. Well, then that's it. Then today is the last live. You guys asked for it. You guys got it. I'm staying on and you're staying with me. Anyone that sees it today is it. Big announcement. Today is my last live. I will shoot some videos next week. Keep going and looking for the videos. I will, for at least a little while, I'll send a text that the videos have been posted. So that way to remind you as we transition for those of you that are on the text. So anybody that wants the text to know when the videos have been posted, you could sign up at hmmr.io/reminder or use this cool QR code over here. And that way you'll get the link to the videos and you can see when the videos have been posted. But that's it. I think that I agree with you guys. I think today is the last day. Ron said, do that quick video. I'll call you Dan Rawich with a cowboy hat. Yeah, right. Or Logan Motashami does one too. He keeps it really short, about 2 minutes. And I just, again, there's 30 of you, 35 of you that regularly join me, but the numbers aren't there for anyone else. And from a business point of view, I just can't justify it anymore. I'm tired and how my time is spent and different things. So that is that. And I can still, don't worry, Jesse, like you said, you love the way I explain the data. I can still do that. You know, I can definitely still do that. Well, I'll play around with the video format. I'm also going to change up the lock advice, the email lock advice format a little bit. Still giving all that same information, but just playing with the way it looks on the lock advice. So, but well, thank you all for anyone watching the replay. I will read the comments. But yeah, I guess, you know what? I agree with you guys because I was thinking of ending it this week. Once I accepted that I was comfortable doing it and I was like, you know what? I am so ready. So I appreciate it. It's been a wonderful, wonderful stretch. And again, I'm calling it a hiatus for the rest of the summer and into September. And if the video thing doesn't work right and doesn't feel right, maybe I go live again. Maybe you guys decide you want to jump on. But in the meantime, I do hope you'll watch the videos, because I will just be basically speeding up everything that I do here, and I won't be going in as much of a depth, as it is. So, but it needs to be something that's a little more than just what you see in the lock advice. So, thank you guys. I appreciate all of your wonderful comments, and thanks, Carmen. I appreciate you. So I'm going to wrap it up. And again, thank you guys. It has been a fun run, and I'm going to sign off, and for probably then the last time. So thank you guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.